Alright, so here we're going to have a quick challenge which will give you an opportunity to use the JavaScript you've learned so far, as well as force you to recall some of the CSS that we learned in the previous section. So get yourself back to just a blank HTML document with your script tags at the bottom. And then the challenge is, can you create a red, blue and yellow circle all next to each other, and then set up JavaScript so that when any of those circles are clicked, it disappears. So that's a slight step forward from what we've seen so far. We haven't seen how to make anything disappear, but hopefully you can work it out. At the very least, get those circles up and see what you can make them do. Good luck. All right, I hope you managed it. There are, of course, several different ways to solve this problem, but I'm going to go for a similar way as to how we made some circles last time. So I'm going to have a div with a class of circle and an ID of red circle. And then I'm going to add the styles for that first off. So just in the usual way. There we go. So all of the circles are going to have certain styles in common. So that's why I'm doing that as a class. So we'll start off by setting the width to be, let's say, 200 pixels. We'll set the height to be 200 pixels as well. Then to make them circular, we'll set the border radius to 50%. I want them all in a row, so I'm going to make them float left. And finally, I want a bit of a gap between them, so I'm going to give them a margin of 50 pixels. Okay, and then the only thing different between them is going to be their color. So let's put in red circle first. And that, of course, is going to have a background color of red. So let's just check, make sure we've got a nice big red circle there. Wonderful. And then we'll just do the same for a blue circle and a yellow circle. Then I'm just going to copy and paste the styles for those. So for the blue circle, background color of blue, and yellow circle, background color of yellow. Wonderful. I think they are floating left, but they're going off the edge of the page. So let's change the width to 100 and see if we can get them all in a row. Almost. Okay, then let's change the margin right to being 50 pixels. There we go. Could even then make them a little bit bigger. Not that big. Try 130. Lovely. So now we've got our circles. We've just got to create our little bit of interactivity. Now then, it's just a matter of writing a little bit of JavaScript. And that should all be fine. Let's start with the red circle. So we're going to want to add an onClick function to our element with an ID of red circle. And we want to make it so that when it's clicked, it disappears. So it should be fairly straightforward. Let's start with document to say that we want to access something in this document, and then good old getElementById. Then we give it the ID of red circle, and then onClick, and we're going to set that equal to a function which we'll define in the curly brackets, and all we want to do is find it again. So document.getElementById red dash circle, and then set the style dot display, and just as we did in the previous video, set that to none, and that should make it disappear. Let's have a look. Click. There it goes. All right, simple enough. Now let's do it for the other two. So this is going to be very, very similar. All we need to do is change yellow circle and yellow circle and blue circle, blue circle. And that will just apply the same code but to each circle. Blue goes, yellow goes, red goes. Whoops, when I don't right click it. Alright, I hope you managed that challenge, and we're going to be coming back to this code when we create our reaction testing game at the end of this section. For now though, we're going to move on away from working with HTML elements. For now though, we're going to move on and away from HTML elements and look at some pure JavaScript, which will allow us to do much more powerful things in our web pages than what we've seen so far. And we're going to start that process by looking at variables.